Guys, I'm so happy to bring this to you. A few hours ago, I found a filthy weapon that's going to help you get the most insane work ethic you could ever imagine. And it probably sounds extreme, especially for such a video that I'm making right here. But if you understand this concept, you're going to have a work ethic that I've seen like nowhere else in business, doing this for like 3 years. I have never seen another person in my life ever that had such a work ethic. And I'm just going to quickly explain to you concept. And when you understand this, like your life's like it's people during this time of the years, like at end of 2025 of me making this video, people are going to say 2026 you're going to crush it, but bro, like if you understand this, who cares about 2026? Like you're going to crush the next 3, 4, 5, 6 decades when you do this, right? So what is the key to having a good work ethic, right? The key to having a good work ethic, or the difference between someone having a good one versus someone having a bad one, is that basically the person having a better work ethic has more reasons to not fail or do stupid actions that are basically other from working or getting to their goals, right? So basically the person with a better work ethic has more reasons as to why they must succeed and why it's impossible for them to not do it. Basically like a extremely high standard. And for a very, very long time, and basically the context of this was in my life until recently, I've had a problem and I didn't know how to remove it. I could get a bit more specific. It was an addiction. I'm not going to get too much detail on this, but just imagine for yourself, you're probably having something in your life. I don't know if you're still like, if you're smoking, if you're playing video games, if there's anything in your life where you think it's not as well as it should be, like it can be the smallest thing. It could literally be like you getting to bed like 10 minutes late each night or something like that, or like every now and then, right? Like something small. There's a reason for why you can't just use discipline to remove that. And just imagine yourself with your life that basically every single thing that's bad, like literally everything, is just removed. Like imagine like viewing a stock where it goes like down and up and down and down, you know, like this. But the down parts are like all removed. The stock is just going to get up and up and up and up. It's crazy, right? And the way that you do this, like I was saying, sort of for the camera, is you just want to like make sure that there's a reason for why you cannot fail. And now basically here's where the concept comes in. And like I was saying, I discovered, like unconsciously discovered that like concept roughly 3 years ago. That's really where my life changed from like being a 14-year-old teenager to someone actually doing stuff and really being different from other people, getting to the gym, like all that stuff. But now like the only thing that's going to hold you back from literally destroying everyone in your space is just forgetting about this concept. Okay, and what you need to do is you need to imagine your life, and basically, obviously, in your life you have time and energy, and each time that a certain amount of time is passing, you're never going to get that amount of time back, and you only live once on this world, on this planet, however you want to call it. You only live once, basically meaning you have one chance to live the best life you can ever imagine. And if you've got one chance, it's pure logic, obviously we as humans want to have the best outcome we can. You might want to make sure that your life is the best possible you could ever achieve. There's no way around this, right? You want to have the best life you could ever achieve because you only live once and then you're dead, basically. And usually when people say you only live once, obviously like more like short-term thinking, taking drugs, stuff like that. But obviously, like in the long run, like building a business and becoming successful and all that stuff is a must if you want to have, if like in any way, shape or form in your ideal life, basically financial freedom plays a role in any way, shape or form. If that's the case, then business, like succeeding in business is a must, right? And basically when you understand like I need to have the best possible life that I can make for myself, then every single time when you're confronted with the decision to make something bad, let's say for example, I don't know, like playing video games, you're just not going to do it. Because if you play video games now, you're going to, obviously the time is going to get past, so it's like 2 hours, whatever. It's going to have a bit of a negative impact, so your dopamine level is going to be a bit worse, all that stuff, your attention span is probably getting weaker as well, all that stuff. Energy is getting lost, but the problem is not that in itself. Like that in itself isn't that problematic, but the thing is, you'll never be able to get that back. If you play video games now for 2 hours, you're never going, like, you're going to, like, the best possible outcome your life could have is going to be permanently reduced. You'll never be able to get it back. And that's basically why you need to be able to make the optimal decision, like the best possible decision in every single scenario that you can do, in your capabilities, of course, always. Because when you're doing that, you're getting so much higher. Like, just imagine your life right now, where imagine like the last 4 weeks of your life, and just imagine every single like mistake that you've been doing, where you knew like it wasn't such a good thing to do. Like some things, obviously sometimes you just don't know about something, so obviously you can't just not make a mistake. But there's some mistakes where you know they're actually mistakes, right? Just imagine like all of these are just being removed. Like, just imagine everything is running perfectly always. How much extra stuff you would have. Like, you probably, like, if you had like the last like 4 weeks, if you had done everything optimally for that like 4 weeks, you'd probably like you would have saved yourself like 1.5 weeks, maybe 2 weeks, because the difference accumulates so heavily. Like, imagine just having perfect sleep in every night, or like close to every night, right? This is key. And when you understand this, then this is going to be your standard. Your standard is, I only live once on this world. When I fuck up, I will never be able to get it back. And that's why I need to make sure that I do the optimal, like best possible thing always, to ensure that I get to the best possible life. Basically get to my goals like as early as possible, all that kind of stuff. And obviously, at this point, you're going to say, Frederick, like, if you want to have the best possible life, you're just going to get burnt out real quick. But that's not the point, because if you get burnt out real quick, then your life is long term is getting worse. So obviously you want to play it long term, because when you don't play it long term, then it's going to have a detrimental effect. So when you want to have the best possible life, you need to make sacrifices with some of your decisions. For example, I'm going to work 8 hours a day instead of 12, because right now my health can't sustain 12 hours a day. So I'm going to work 8, but therefore I'll be able to sustain it and have great focus in those 8 hours, as an example. And it's not just about like doing less work. Like, to some degree, obviously, like there's the reason why we as humans, like the second you get out of bed, obviously the best possible thing would be to sprint through like your room, do all of that stuff that you need to be doing, like sprint everywhere, talk super quick, like do all of that quickly, basically rushing all the time. But the thing is, there's a reason why we as humans are not doing this all the time, because it saves, like it conserves energy, and this would use up too much energy basically. And what I'm like, the point I'm making here is, if you want to have an optimal life, there are some things that you sit like, obviously you as a human, you cannot do everything perfectly. But the thing is, it's not under your control. It's an impossibility to do everything perfectly, basically meaning it's not under your control. So make sure that you just do everything that's under your control perfectly, right? So let's say you can take like 100 actions, and in the short term you can take 100 perfect actions a day, and that like if you were to sustain that long term, you'd have the best possible life ever. But because of your restrictions physically, for example, like if you need to, let's say for example you have like a 9-to-5 job, obviously you're not going to like be like 3 times above the tempo limits like inside your town, because probably going to cause like an emergency, or like a, how do you say, like a crash in traffic, like some random accident happening, right? Or for example, there's a reason probably why you're not like running all the time when you're walking somewhere. Obviously, that like you can't do this. Like if you did seriously 100 actions, then probably after 3, 4, 5 days you'd be burnt out, and then you'd only be able to take like realistically like 40 right actions, right? So you don't want to do this. Obviously, there are some things that you simply can't make perfectly, like this video. I'm probably making whatever mistakes, but it's not under my control long term to make this to like the few like wrong actions I'll take each day. It's not under my control. I'm just going to focus on the stuff that is under my control. And getting rid of your addictions or whatever you want to get rid of, like all that negative behavior, is under your control. And if you have a reason strong enough to say it's not ever in my life am I going to do this, like playing video games to me is like drinking out of a toilet that's been used by like 3 different people before. It's disgusting as fuck, I'm never going to do that. Then you simply won't do it. And the cool thing about this is it won't cost you any extra willpower, because it's a very simple to make decision, and it's not a variable. Like it's non-negotiable. You just have this only one pathway basically, and like when you have these standards, you're just not going to fuck up. And getting back to that example with the actions, let's say like because of your physical restrictions and because we are humans and we're not perfect, maybe we can just take 90 out of 100 right actions a day. But if we were to take 90 right actions a day, then we would still be way, 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 way better than we are right now. Right now it's maybe 60. Obviously it's an arbitrary number, so I don't really know what the truth is. But like every single thing that's under your control, you want to optimize for the long run in your life. Unless you know for a fact that you're going to die in a year, it's probably not going to happen. And if you're not going to die next year and you're probably going to have a long life, then you should, if you want to get the most out of your life, obviously want to do every single thing that you can long term. And basically not claiming discipline and not doing super hard work right now for the sake of being able to work for longer is a smart long-term decision. And that's being perfect. Being perfect is, if you get the point, like being perfect is not being like disciplined 24/7. Being perfect is getting the most out of your day and basically removing as much of things that can go bad, save as much energy, and just do your work as focused as you can, and obviously focus on all that stuff that's leading to you being able to do the work focused, like sleeping and stuff like that, right? So that's really it for this video. Obviously I could talk about this for way long, but I don't want to waste your time. I just want to make this like 12-minute video or whatever, 11 minutes. If you understand this concept, and honestly, like nobody is viewing their life like this. Like nobody's saying, I need to have the best possible life I can ever achieve. Because if you don't, you fuck it up, you'll never get there's no way on earth that you don't want to have a perfect life. In regards to make the life as good as you can. And every single time you're doing something that's not optimal, you're never going to get that time back. And that's why I need to be super aware of that. And I'm so hyped making this video right now because the reason why I wasted so much time in the past is because I forgot about this. And now every single time it happens, I can just go back to this video, watch this again, make sure when you're watching this video, and this is not like I'm not even getting like any ad revenue from these videos, and ad revenue sucks anyway, just some cigar money or whatever, how people call it. Like, just make sure that you don't forget about this concept. Like cement in your life, I want to have the best possible life ever. And this is only going to happen if all of the actions that are under my control long term are being taken optimally. And then you simply won't tolerate bad behavior anymore. Because if you're hanging out with your friends drinking and stuff, you're going to realize, wait, like this is going to have negative, like detrimental effects to my life. Let's not do this. Let's do something else that's better. Let's maybe just take a walk. If we're having low energy, let's just take a walk and make sure we're getting some energy back. It's going to have a better effect. And this stuff is not going to just happen like this one decision, like taking that walk is going to get you more energy for the next day, then you'll be more likely to get better results for the next day, and all of these results, maybe you close the deal quicker on the next day. Maybe because of that deal, you'll be able to hire an operations manager sooner on the next day, or like long term, right? You're going to be able to hire like quicker. You're going to be, and because of that, you're going to be more able to whatever, like focus on your delivery, and then you're getting better results than everyone else. And just like every single decision is having effects till the end of your life, and like even after that, every single decision that someone is making right now, or like 99% of them, are going to have an effect to some degree, butterfly effect in case you're familiar with that, on everything in the future. So that's why you need to be super careful. And the sooner you start with this, like it's going to become easier and easier and easier. Because if you're sleeping perfectly all the time, and you basically, obviously, first of all, you need to know how to do that, but that's quite easy because there are tons of videos on YouTube on this, and ordering and stuff like that. You know, like if you have all that stuff, like no one can compete with you, because nobody is thinking, I need the best possible life ever, I cannot do bad stuff, it's non-negotiable, I need to do it that way. The only way I can see someone not following through with this is when they forget about it. Like you could just, because if you don't forget about it and you're getting all stressed and stuff because you're trying, like you're overwhelmed by everything, then obviously a long-term decision would not be to keep going. The best optimal long-term decision would be, what the hell is going on right now? Why am I so stressed? Potentially, if you have an ordering, what are the actual metrics like going wrong here? What get to the bottom of the problem, solve the problem, and then iterate and try it again. And that's also the reason why it takes so long to become successful to some degree, because obviously if you have 3 years to optimize your sleep, optimize all of the habits that you have in your life, your morning routine or whatever, of course it's going to be way better than if you had to 1 year, right? And it's like the effects are going to exponential. Right, that's it for this video. It's 15 minutes now. It took me like 3 times as long as I wanted to record this, but I wanted to articulate this thought properly. And if you get this, the world's going to fall. Like, when you start taking action and getting into the war, basically. So that's it for this video. I'll see you next year, making the next one. And yeah, that's it. Bye. Take action.